Ladies and gentlemen, I am honored to introduce our distinguished speaker this evening, Representative Rush Holt. Representative Rush Holt has represented Central New Jersey District 12 in Congress since 1999. Born in West Virginia, he inherited his interest in politics from his parents, as his father was a United States Senator and his mother the Secretary of State for West Virginia. Representative Holt earned his Bachelor of Arts degrees in physics from Carleton College in Minnesota and completed his Master's and PhD at NYU. He has held positions as a teacher, Congressional Science Fellow, and arms control expert at the U.S. State Department, where he monitored the nuclear programs of countries such as Iraq, Iran, North Korea, and the former Soviet Union. From 1989 until he launched his 1998 congressional campaign, Holt was Assistant Director of the Princeton Plasma Physics Laboratory, the largest research facility of the Princeton University, and the largest center for research in alternative energy in New Jersey. He has conducted extensive research on alternative energy and has his own patent for a solar energy device. Holt was also a 5-time winner of the game show Jeopardy! And in February 2011, he beat Watson, the IBM computer system, in a simulated round of Jeopardy! At an event to promote innovation. Please help me warmly welcome Representative Holt.
Well, good evening and congratulations to the inductees and to the ongoing members, and also a note of appreciation to the parents for setting these students on the right path. I'm honored and flattered to be asked to speak on this occasion. I know how important this is for each of you, but actually for our community as well. And I want to thank the Honor Society advisors, Ms. Sell and Ms. Kavanaugh, for their dedication to the Honor Society. And I want to thank Agastya Mandal, a student and a member of the Honor Society, for coordinating this invitation. I had the pleasure of meeting Agastya and her Exploravision team when they presented their first place project, the bionic auditory prosthesis, in Washington in June of last year. And you know, I've always been impressed by the quality and the creativity of the students at Hopewell Valley High School. My legislative director is a graduate of this school, and a number of I've gotten to know a number of you, whether in class here or at community activities or through your families, and I look forward to getting to know the rest of you. And I extend my congratulations to you. We're honoring your achievements in the 4 areas of the Honor Society: scholarship, leadership, community service, and character. And because of your achievements, you're being inducted into this prestigious society. Scholarship, as you know, or I hope it has been communicated to you, is more than grade point average. Scholarship means pursuit of knowledge. And I hope you take this to mean eagerly pursuing knowledge, developing a hunger for knowledge in all of its breadth. That's often, as you go on to college, phrased as the liberal arts. You know, we need historians who know math and can quantify the trends and behaviors in the past. We need physicists who know literature and can use metaphor to express their ideas and to help develop new ideas. We need economists and business people who are familiar with art and can include the almost immeasurable components of the arts in our society. For most of this country's history, there's been this characteristic that came to be known as Yankee ingenuity. Has nothing to do with Yankees in the sense of the Civil War, but the idea that Americans had this character of innovation. when our GIs went over, actually in the First World War and in the Second World War, and fought alongside the Europeans, they often talked about good old American know-how. It was a cherished virtue in our society. Nearly every shopkeeper, farmer, manufacturer thought about how things work and how to make them better. Ordinary Americans were embracing, learning, hypothesizing, experimenting. They were thinking like scientists. So part of my wish for you is that even those of you who don't intend to be scientists professionally, maybe especially those of you who don't intend to be scientists professionally, will make extra effort to master the science curriculum. Science actually comes from the root meaning knowing. It is a way of knowing that is useful in every walk of life, and it is part of the liberal arts. Leadership, well, there are many quotes that I could pull out about leadership, but one I like comes from the late President Harry Truman, who said, "In periods where there is no leadership, society stands still. Progress occurs when courageous, skillful leaders," this is still Truman speaking, "when courageous, skillful leaders seize the opportunity to change things for the better." Now, I wanted to emphasize those words, seize the opportunity. You know, life is chancy, and nothing ever proceeds according to plan. And so good leaders are flexible. It starts with the kind of broad educational training that I was talking about a moment ago in the context of scholarship, and flexible enough and broad enough to recognize the essential elements in a changing situation and help the people get to where they want to go. Now, that's not how most people think of leadership. Most people think of leadership as leading the people. But true leadership, sometimes called servant leadership, is understanding where people want to go and being in tune enough to the changing situation to help them understand how to get there. That's the leadership. And especially in times like these, when many are arguing that America is facing such hard times and we should lower our sights, tighten our belts, we need leaders to remind Americans that America is and always has been and will be a country of opportunity for all. To recognize that people want a society where each person gets ahead, not just some people scrambling, climbing on top of others get ahead. Now, community service is related to this. It's not just the number of service hours that you complete. Later this month, we will recognize Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr. He was famous for many things. He was a man of great courage and great inspiration. He said, "What are you doing for others?" It's a pretty simple statement, but it's packed full. He also said, "Everyone can be great because everyone can serve." His life was an example of service. As many of you know, Martin Luther King Day has now become a part of the President's United We Serve national initiative. Over the years, what was just a commemoration of the birth of a great person is now supposed to be a day of service. And I hope you will make it that. But beyond that, I hope you'll remember that service is not a single thing or a single event. It's a commitment of time and attention and effort that leads to change. So again, related to what we were talking about in leadership. Leadership isn't just about the leader leading. By performing service, that very process leads to change. It's not, I hope, something that you will just put on your college application. I hope it is something that you come to appreciate, that it not only enriches your own life, but it advances society. You'd be surprised how much difference one person can make. The best way to do community service is by consciously building community. Again, I spend a lot of time thinking about what has made this country so great. And I think it's our commitment to improvement. You know, when Abraham Lincoln stated so well the purposes, the essence of this country in the Gettysburg Address, when he said we were conceived in liberty and dedicated to the proposition that all are created equal, that's kind of a provisional statement to the proposition that all are equal. A proposition. It's not yet demonstrated. But we are working that through to see if we can carry it out. Our very Constitution, our guiding document, has those words in the preamble, in order to form a more perfect union. These geniuses who put together this ingenious government of ours knew they didn't get it right. They knew there were flaws in there. But the whole Constitution, the whole document, the whole national ethic was based on the idea that we would work to get it right. We would move toward a more perfect union. And when you are performing service, what are you doing? You are trying to improve things. You see a need, you are filling that need. It is very American that people take time to serve. Just as it is very American that we have said scholarship is not just for scholars, but it is for all people. The public schools, this American institution, is really very American. It's based on this idea of improvement, individually and communally. Now, character. Character is what you do when you believe no one's looking. It's something you work at. This is the part of individual improvement. Great character is not given, it's built by deliberate thought, by deliberate choice, by deliberate courage, and by determination. Now, America really is at a crossroads, I think, of deciding whether it will continue to be a land of greatness and opportunity for all, or whether we will lower our sights. Economic times are tough. But never in our history have we said the next generation will have a lesser life than the current generation. Never in American history have we said that. And we mustn't allow ourselves to say that now. We should continue to work for opportunity, for fairness, to build community, to make sure that each person, you know, we're not there yet. Again, we're working toward this. And American history has been the expansion of the franchise, the right to vote to more and more people, the right to participate fully in society to more and more people. In fact, to make sure, step by step, year by year, century by century, that each person has the same opportunity as a person of privilege. We abolished the idea of aristocracy from the beginning. And we adopted this proposition that Lincoln talked about, the proposition that all are created equal. It's not a given. It's not obvious. None of the rest of the world wanted to embrace that. But we thought that was a proposition worth developing, that each person could have the same opportunity as a person of privilege, the same opportunity to advance the family's circumstances, the same access to the levers of government and social advancement, the same protections under the law when interests collide. Well, as you develop this character, I hope you will never forget that it takes a measure of luck to succeed as well. Nothing against individual initiative, but remember that, well, as we physicists would say, life is a stochastic process. In other words, there's a lot of randomness built in. A leader is somebody who recognizes when circumstances are changing, understands the essence of it, and helps people get to where they want to go. A scholar is someone who is broadly enough educated to be able to react to changing circumstances. Louis Pasteur, the founder of microbiology, had this wonderful saying that chance favors the prepared mind. Yes, day to day things won't always go as you planned. But if you are broadly educated, flexible, and understand where you're going and where this country is going, you'll be luckier than those who are not so prepared. Chance favors the prepared mind. So I congratulate you on being inducted into this prestigious organization. I encourage you to strive for a life that's founded on scholarship, leadership, community service, and individual character development. I'm delighted to see you because I know what each one of you has contributed, but even more, I know what each one of you will contribute. Congratulations.
In the words of Ray Kroc, the quality of a leader is reflected in the standards they set for themselves. You are all being inducted tonight because of your high academic achievement. In addition to that amazing feat, you have demonstrated high leadership. As a member of the National Honor Society, your purpose is to promote worthy leadership in the student body of Hopewell Valley Central High School. As you continue in your life journey, remember that you are a leader. Do not wait for somebody to lead you. You lead others. It is your job to encourage those around you to go where they ought to go, but not necessarily where they want to go.
In the words of Booker T. Washington, character, not circumstances, makes the man. Character is one of the 4 important components that were considered when we selected you to be inducted as a member of our school's chapter of the National Honor Society. It is your responsibility to set and uphold a high level of character in all that you say and all that you do. I challenge you to this task because it will serve you well, not only now, but throughout your lifetime.